Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Holy Heck, the podcast. I'm your co-host, Grace.
And I am Katie.
And oh my goodness, we have made it. Today is our last episode of the season. We've officially reached episode 10.
So crazy.
That's so crazy. How are you feeling about that?
I don't know, honestly. Like, I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, it's just so crazy that, one, because we're doing it bi-weekly, not weekly, it's taken a long time.
It has.
We started this in January.
It's almost 5 months.
That's crazy. That's so long. It's like so much has happened in those it's almost been 6 months. January, February, March, April, May.
It's going to be June when this comes out.
It'll be June, yeah.
That's crazy. It will be 6 months. Yeah, you're right, because I'll have people talk to us about past episodes, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Because we recorded it again before we put... Yeah, and so I'm just like, oh my goodness.
Crazy. So I feel like so much has happened.
Yeah.
So much has happened. And I feel like even looking back at like who we were... episode 1 and like the stuff we had gone through at that point, not even close to where we're at now. Like so much has happened.
I agree. Even Kyle, he listened to like quite a few episodes yesterday, and he's like, just for funsies, like I rewatched your first episode and then the most recent one, and he was like, the way you guys speak now is so different. Even like what we've like learned and how we record and our system and all of that.
It's so cool. I love growing. I love learning new things. I just get so fascinated with like learning new things. I think it's so cool. So I've like loved this. I have enjoyed this so much.
Yeah. Well, why don't you let them know what we're talking about today?
Yeah. So this is part 2 of In the Trenches, our 2-part series topic about dating and marriage and relationships.
Yes.
So part 2 is going to be about marriage.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. We like literally just sat down right before this and we're like, we don't have an outline. We don't have anything planned for marriage. What are we going to talk about here? Like, what are you wanting to touch on? And both of us were like, wedding culture. Yeah.
Because we have some strange experiences in wedding culture.
And I feel like, again, going from dating to married, there is a big step in between, which is the wedding. Yeah. Engagement and wedding. And I feel like those 2 specific season and events are not talked about enough.
No.
On like how you navigate that as a Christian.
I agree, because sometimes I think it also reveals a lot of intention of a dating relationship of like, oh, are you just wanting the wedding, the marriage, like that idea, or you're actually like, no, I want to marry this person, not idolizing a wedding or marriage or something.
Yeah, idolization is huge, I feel like, especially nowadays. I don't know what it is, but like ever since social media took off, like comparison has been huge.
Yeah. And we just have a fear of feeling like we're behind nowadays too. And it doesn't help being broadcasted on socials.
Low key, the comparison game when it comes to like social media, wedding and stuff like that is coveting.
Yeah. I feel like so much of social media is.
It's like an actual sin.
It is. And think about the amount of times, again, it disguises itself so weird too, because think about the amount of, bit me. Sorry.
He said, oh, I really love this.
Sorry. I was going to say, think about the amount of times, too, that, like, even unintentionally, like, we're on social media. I'm on social media. And I see someone living a super cool mountain outdoorsy life. And I'm like, oh, man, like, I wish I could do it. Then I'm like, wait a minute. Why am I...
The line between inspiration and jealousy is so thin.
It's blurred on social media.
Yes. Because, again, you want, like, you're motivated and you're inspired by people and, like, seeing what they do and seeing their life. And, like, I really love that. Like, I would love to do that. But then as soon as it gets to the, like... Ugh, I'm
upset I don't have that.
Yeah, I'm upset. I want it to be this way. That's when it's like, something shifted.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's so weird. I feel like, again, wedding culture has shifted so much to being so consumerism.
Yeah.
It has. Which is like the exact opposite of everything I am.
Well, no, it's true, yeah.
Like, I can't stand it. Like, I was literally this morning... I was like getting dressed and like you saw my outfit. Like I was wearing
me too.
My shirt that I was wearing this morning is a Joshua Tree shirt that my dad got in like the 90s or early 2000s going to Joshua Tree for a climbing event for rock climbing.
Yeah.
And then he accidentally threw a bunch of old fireworks in a fire pit 10 years later and it blew a bunch of holes in the shirt.
But it like...
And then I took it.
And you're like, I want it.
This is mine now. And I cut it and cropped it.
In a really good way. It looks like something they would sell at Urban Outfitters that you would end up paying like $60 for when you're like, no.
No, everything I have is like either gifted or thrifted.
Yeah.
Like I just am not the like chase the newest trend thing. I love new trends. Like don't get me wrong. But like.
Well, it's also really humbling too of like when you're in a point of life and stage where it's like, oh, I can't afford new trends. So it's like you have to get creative, and it teaches you contentment in what you have.
100%.
But again, like growing up, I almost went to fashion school for college. Like I love fashion, I love style, I love all that. But I primarily love it when I do it with things I have or I own. And like, again, I want inspo, like I take things like that. But
we're the same way though.
That's true.
Because we're also the same type. If we met somebody, and this is, I was about to say no shade, but it is shade.
Okay.
If we met somebody that was like, oh yeah, I got this on Temu or Shein, both of us immediately,
interesting.
So we ain't friends.
Yeah.
And not in
that's
a like,
fair.
not in a like, I look down on you, but in a way of like, I would rather be poor and not have the thing than spend $5 to get the thing so crappily made.
I agree.
And 100% fact that there's like people in sweatshops. Like 100% fact. And so, and like, you just don't even care.
That's very true, actually.
Anyways, that's a tangent.
Yes, that is a tangent.
But
I'm sorry.
It has a lot to do with wedding culture.
It does, because it's very similar.
I feel like it is. It's very consumerism. It's very like, you're never going to use these things again. And you spend so much
money on them.
Freaking money. Okay.
It's interesting too, because like, I think when Kyle and I were in the process of planning our wedding, since we did it so quick, I don't think I had time to see and learn about all these crazy wedding trends and then feel bad about myself for not being able to afford them. Because again, I planned a wedding in 4 months, if that. And like, how long did you guys plan your little like,
Well, we were planning before we got engaged.
Yeah.
Because I'm
you guys
thorough,
were already prepped,
you know. But I think we were engaged, let's see, May, June, July, 3 months. We spent 3 months planning a wedding.
Yeah. And actually, you know what's so funny? One of my coworkers just yesterday was telling me, she was like, my sister-in-law like just got engaged, and she was like super sad and unhappy. And I was like, why? Because she was like, oh, like, I don't have time. Like, this really sucks. I don't think I'm going to make it or be able to plan my bachelorette party. And my coworker was like, well, how far away is your wedding? 11 months.
What?
11 months away. And she was like,
I didn't have one when I got married to Joey. So like, I get that. But like,
she had 11 months.
Yeah.
She has 11 months to plan her bachelorette. And she was like, I don't think I'm going to have time. Like, she thought the wedding was too close to do it. What? That's what I'm getting at. Because she was stressed. She was like, I only have 11. Like there's too many things. And again, I get bridal stress. There's a ton to it. However, it's like,
I'm going to be so real with you. Okay, this is crazy. You know this. I think I told you this. So I've had 2 weddings now, right? One, I got engaged and we planned it, and it was a full 12 months. And it was the wedding. Like, I'm telling you, like, we got married at this gorgeous resort. It had like all the fanciest food. I had a custom made dress that I paid for myself that was like literally $8,000. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
I was very materialistic, I feel like, before my divorce. Like, I think the divorce for me was the line where I was like, I don't need to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
My image does not matter anymore.
Yeah.
I am dying to myself in this. Like, this was all pride. Very materialistic before that. I had the perfect wedding. Like, it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. We spent all this money on everything. Photography, videography, like the wedding planner, the food, like the drinks. Like, everything was so fancy and so nice. It took a total of 12 months. Most miserable experience of my life. I was like sobbing my whole wedding day. And like, again, a lot of it was part of like who I was marrying. And it was a miserable experience because of that. But at the same time, it was also a miserable experience because I was so stressed out the entire time. I was miserable. Yeah. It was just not fun. And it looked great. Like, all the photos are like gorgeous. And I get it, for the like custom dress, it takes literally 12 months to make the dress. It was handmade, beautiful, like literally the most beautiful dress ever. If you're a girl out there that is like, nah, I gotta have my dress man, I totally get it. Just get it made. If you know the dress you want, doesn't matter the guy, like, your dress isn't gonna change based on who you marry.
That's actually a fair point.
It's a reflection of you. So go get the dress made.
That's not a bad idea.
Just go get it, have it ready. And then like, oh no, what if you don't get married for 10 years and it changes? Go get it altered.
It's true.
It's cheaper to get it altered and faster. Just go do that.
I had to pay a rush fee, and that was it.
Did you really?
Because since it was only 4 months, I think it was like a week or 2 after we got engaged, I had made the appointments, we went bridal shopping, and it was the first place we went to. It was like the last dress I tried on. I was like, I love it. But again, I didn't have extensive, there was no embroidery, and there was no beading, there was none of that. Yeah. And so I just had to pay a rush fee.
Mine was...
You had a lot of lace. I didn't have lace in mine either.
Yeah, mine
was very like simple... Anyways.
Yeah, no, mine was a lot.
I love sleeves.
Customized beading and all the crazy insane
and
stuff.
That makes sense to me that it takes time.
Yeah. And this is a hot take because I know that people have like actually been like weirded out by me doing this. But when I got married to Joey, I used the same dress. I just cut it.
Well, you made it your own.
I did.
I feel like it's kind of a neat reflection of you actually becoming yourself. And like, instead of taking a dress that you were materialistic with, and that was kind of for people to see in like a show, and then being like, you know what, actually like, that's my old life, man, and cutting it up and making it yours.
It was beautiful. Like the dress is still gorgeous, and I paid so much money for it. And I was like, this is my dream dress. And like when I wore it for my first wedding, like I literally remember like the first look or whatever, my ex was like, it's a dress.
Ew.
And I was like, oh, okay. Like I spent so much money on this.
You're like, you mean my dream dress from my dream designer that was custom made is a dress.
Yeah. And I remember when Joey and I were talking about like what dress I would wear, I asked him, I was like, what do you, when you like envision me in a wedding dress, like what style do you see? And he described my dress.
That's so funny.
And I was like, all right, cool.
Cool.
And so I literally did. I like took scissors, kitchen scissors too, not even like nice shears, to a $8,000 dress. And I was like, this is also me dying to materialism and myself. Like, this is me being like, I love this thing. That does not make, I do.
I want to look at it later.
It's gorgeous. It's like so cool. And it got dirty because we got married on a mountain.
Yeah.
And so like, it's all dirty and I never got it professionally cleaned. And like, I will one day, I think, when we've got the money to do so. Yeah. But like, yeah, I don't know. There was something so redemptive in that whole process.
That makes sense.
So, wedding-wise.
Yes.
What is your experience with like Christian weddings?
Other than maybe like 2 or 3, they have not been great experiences.
Really? Oh gosh, how many weddings have you been a part of?
Okay, let's see. Am I going to count my own?
Don't.
Not today, Boba.
Yes, count your own.
So I had mine. Okay. 6. I've been a part of 6, including my own.
Okay.
And then Kyle was a part of one of those. So, so 7 if I'm including that one.
I would say if your spouse is like also a groomsman or involved in the wedding, that like that counts because you're there for all the behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
so I've been a part of 7. And again, 2 of them were my sister's weddings, and those were wonderful experiences. One of them, I was still in high school. I was pretty young, so I was just like happy to do crafts.
Happy to be there.
Like just fun stuff like that. But then when it came to my own wedding, I was pretty darn simple, but also like I know what I like, and that's why that like makes planning and prep and stuff like that easy for me. And at the time when I was planning the wedding, I had people around me who knew what I liked too, so it just made it pretty quick and simple.
Yeah.
And my best friend at the time had gotten married only a few months prior, and so she like had everything down and was like, here, if you need help, I've got you. We can do this and we can do that. And so like my wedding planning experience was great, and we can touch on this a little bit later. The only thing that Kyle and I both wish we did is I wish we didn't follow as much of a traditional wedding outline, and we made it more custom to ourselves. Because there are some things that you do at weddings that we didn't do, but there are some things that we're like, that didn't really reflect us as a couple. Like, kind of wish we would have just like done it, made it more us, as opposed to the fact of like, well, I guess it's a wedding, so you have to do X, Y, and Z at a wedding. But as far as my other experiences, I've either come encounter with one of 2 things: a bride who's very excited and happy just to get married, and that the wedding itself is like, oh, it's just part of the process, but it's not the end all be all. Yeah. And then I've come in contact with kind of the opposite, where it's like, no, the wedding is what I've been prepping for this entire relationship. It's what I've been planning for. If it is not perfect, I will cry and be upset. And so that is hard for me. Because again, it's like, that's not the point of a wedding. The point is your union under God, and to have people come and to celebrate and
I think
launch a marriage.
The wedding day itself is a huge reflection on the relationship.
I agree.
It shows so much about a couple, and it's like
to see how they act, even so how they behave, the planning,
so hard because, like you wish you could get like a dry run of seeing that before. So if there were issues, you could be like, hold on,
hey, wait, you guys should work on that.
Yeah,
or
you
fix
guys
that
should work
or
on
whatever.
this. Or I don't think you guys are right for each other.
Yeah.
Like this is clear because of how this happened. Yeah, oh my gosh, I totally forgot another wedding. I have been, because of my parents got married.
Yeah, they did.
And so.
Oh my goodness, my mom too.
Yeah. So
anyways.
I've been a part of 10 weddings.
That's a lot.
Total. And that's like family of that, bridesmaids, maid of honors, wedding planners.
Yeah.
I was a wedding planner for your sister-in-law recently, which was so fun.
I feel like we teamed that really well.
We did. That was so really much fun. I loved that one. And yeah, I feel like it's the exact same. Like my experience in seeing it, and including my own too. Like again, I did the full picture, gorgeous, super expensive, perfect wedding that was terrible. And then me and Joey's wedding was very different.
Yeah.
Like we knew somebody who had a chateau at Crystal Mountain in Washington, Mount Rainier, and they let us borrow it. And so we had 12 of our closest family and friends stay there all together for like 3 days. We played board games, made food from scratch.
Yeah.
And then we got up at sunrise, just me and Joey went and did our vows, and everybody showed up and we got married on a mountain.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
and it was
awesome.
so wonderful. And Joey cooked the rehearsal dinner.
That's so cool.
So fun. And so we didn't have a first dance, we didn't have a toast, we didn't have speeches, like none of that stuff. Like it was very chill.
That's really nice.
And it was like the best day of our lives. Like
That's
both
so
of us
awesome.
look back on it with like it was so perfect.
I love that.
It was just like a little
happy.
vacation with family and friends, and like it's everything we always wanted.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I think, again, experience is so different, but before we get to the wedding, what do you think Christians should hear about engaged period? Is there anything during that period of being engaged that like you wish somebody had spoken a little bit more on?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, like I just touched on a little bit, I just wish somebody would have sat us down and been like, this is your day, make it your own. You know, again, like, of course you have people
Doesn't
coming.
need to look like everybody else's. Yeah.
Of course you have people coming and celebrating and all of that. And that was so wonderful. And you like obviously want to like, you're hosting too. Like that's also part of a wedding, and you want to let people like love it and enjoy it. But there's a fine balance, I think, of in a wedding period when you have people who are like, this is your day. You be as picky as you want. You do whatever you want to do. And then also being like, okay, but like don't turn bridezilla. You know? And I feel like since, again, I didn't have a ton of time to plan, but Kyle and I were both pretty chill about it of like, okay, we want to do X, Y, and Z. And one of my good friends, like I said, like my maid of honors were wonderful. They're like, okay, we got blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I just wish during engagement period, something that we did that I absolutely loved, and again, not all couples have to do this, but we did premarital counseling, and that has saved our relationship so often. Like we like still refer back and talk to about that because
really
again,
cool.
I was going into a marriage with a lot of trauma from my dad, and like us realizing, okay, if we're going into a marriage, like how are we fully going to make this work with each other? And so our premarital counselor, he was a pastor for like 20 years, and then he was like, no one listens. So he became a counselor.
That's so cool.
And he does marriage and family. Anyways, he was so wonderful.
Yeah.
He just like the way he like sat down with Kyle and I, and he was so biblically based and talked about like, hey, Grace, like you have a trigger to this. You're going to get offended when he does this. You have to work on that. And I don't know. So that was just really, really big for me. And it also brought up topics that maybe we wouldn't have included.
Yeah.
Something too that's really important before marriage is to talk about, like, you have so many categories. Talk about money. Talk about your finances. Talk about even what you want to do for the wedding.
Yeah.
Because I've known couples who've gone into a engagement and like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, we're gonna get married.
Yeah.
But then they haven't agreed on what they want to do for the wedding. Like some couples are like, oh no, I'm willing to go in debt for this wedding.
Yeah.
And some couples are like, whoa,
no.
whoa.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna start off a marriage in debt.
No.
You know, like we were fortunate enough to like, we paid for a chunk of it ourselves. Even my mom paid some money.
We didn't
like
go
Kyle's
into debt
parents.
for ours. I
didn't
like fully
either.
expected to pay for me and Joey's wedding myself because like I had already had a wedding. You know, I wasn't expecting my dad to be like, okay, here's some more money.
Yeah.
And Joey's family is different with money. And so I was not expecting them to help at all. I mean, his mom, for sure. I definitely, like, I wasn't expecting it, but, like, she was so happy to help and, like,
so sweet.
Paid for so much stuff, and she was amazing with that. It was super sweet. And my dad ended up helping, too. But it was definitely something that, like, going into it, I was like, nah, this is on us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I just wish people would have sat us down and been like, this is exciting.
Make it yours.
Be excited.
Yeah.
Be excited. Make it yours. Set yourselves up for success. Like you're moving into a whole marriage after this, like a life together, you know, just you two. So yeah, I wish somebody would have just kind of been like, hey, like stay focused. Remember the mission of marriage. Remember it's for you guys, like your wedding, and make it your own.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think very similar. I, like, again, doing it twice. I think the first time I was so caught up in like culture.
Yeah.
So caught up in culture. Like my bridal party and like my bachelorette party, we like flew everybody out and like stayed at this really nice place in McCall and like did all this stuff. And so it was very, very like, again, and I had themed nights and like the whole thing. Like I did the whole thing and I was like, this was miserable. Like I feel like this is so much pressure on other people too that I didn't think it would be, but it was. And I wish I had known that. But like inviting somebody to be a part of your bridal party is a lot of pressure.
It's expensive.
It is so expensive. And like if you're aware of that, as Christians, what do we do?
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like we shouldn't be trying to put that kind of pressure on people. Like don't get mad if people can't swing it. Don't get mad if people can't. Honestly, if you ask somebody, can you be my bridesmaid? And they say like, I'm so sorry, but I can't afford to. Be cool with that.
Yeah.
Like be cool with that.
Don't
if you
take
love
it
them,
as they hate me in my relationship. Yeah.
Like if you love them enough, you should front that.
Yeah.
Like if you genuinely care about them enough and you've got the funds to do it, pay for their stuff. Do it.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can't get mad at people for saying, like, I'm so sorry, I can't afford a $150 dress right now, plus, you know, X, Y, and Z for gifts and
dinners
X, Y, and Z
for
swinging for a bachelorette party and the stay and all that stuff. Like, you can't get mad at people for that. You know? So, I don't know. I think that's something that I did learn the first wedding. Then going into the second wedding, I was like, I'm never going to expect people to do this. Like, the stay, completely free for everyone. The food, completely free for everyone. The whole time that they were there. Like we stocked the fridge, the stay was completely free for them. They just had to get there. Yeah. That was the only thing that I was like, I can't spring for plane tickets.
Yeah, for 12 people.
I'm also not going to be mad if you can't make it because of that. And so like we had a lot of friends that weren't able to make it because again, his family is in New York and we got married in Washington.
Yeah.
We had family that couldn't make it. Yeah. Like his brothers, none of his siblings could make it because it's just too expensive. I see you, and it's not happening. Look at him.
He's eyeing that.
Oh, my goodness,
Mike.
baby.
He wants to eat that so bad.
I know. Oh, man. But, yeah, I think that was a big thing. I think aside from the wedding planning period of engagement, I think the thing I wish I would have had hammered in a little bit more is how difficult maintaining boundaries is after engagement.
Because sometimes you get the mindset of like, well, we're already getting married. Yeah.
That's 100% the issue. Because I think before that, it's very easy to be like, no, you know,
we're just dating.
You know, I keep saying the thing like, well, you know, I never know if they're going to be my husband or not. Yeah. And so I want to respect his future wife and that kind of stuff. Like that's kind of the mindset that's put into your head is like how they teach you to like set those boundaries is like treat them like they're not your spouse.
Yeah.
Because it's true. But as soon as you get engaged, that argument is kind of like,
you're like, well,
they're gonna be my spouse. And so that was a lot harder.
Yeah.
Like a lot harder. It's also because like getting engaged is so romantic and like all the feels. So it was really hard. And I think that I didn't realize how difficult it would be after engagement because I was like, no, like we've been great so far. Like we've done a really good job, but we had it hammered in. He moved, we got engaged. So we were suddenly in the same city and we're engaged. And I was like,
you're like, oh.
This is difficult. And I was living on my own. Yeah. I had my own place. Yeah. And so like, it was so hard to be like, okay, like you have to go home now. It is 12 o'clock. Yeah. Like cut off. You're going home to your own place. Yeah. Like that was definitely, I think there was only a couple times he like actually slept over. Yeah. But like nothing happened. Yeah. You know? Yeah. It was just like, I was like, those were boundaries that we were like, no. And I was like, oh, gosh, you know, like it's so difficult because, again, like this is going to be his home in like 2 weeks and stuff like that. And there was an overlap where he, like our friends, he was living with our friends, actually, that got married a month before us.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a month.
Yeah, it was a month before us, like almost exactly. And so they went on their honeymoon for 2 weeks and he had to be out by the time they got home. Yeah. And so he moved in 2 weeks before we got married, but we were only actually at the house for 3 nights because we left for our wedding early. We went down to Salt Lake City with friends to go like hike Zion and do all that stuff. And then we drove over to Washington and stayed with family. Yeah. And so there was only like 3 nights where I was like, don't touch me.
Like, you're like, get away.
You know,
stay
and, like,
over there.
He did. I think he slept like on the couch. We had a pull-out couch. Yeah. And so I don't even remember any time at home where we like overlapped like that. So it was like we were lucky in that aspect, but it was hard. It was really difficult, but yeah, I think that's the only thing I wish I would have like, people would have been like, no, it gets harder. Yeah. Like you have to be more diligent with your boundaries. Yeah. Because I agree. Did not understand. So wedding wise, swapping into that. Okay. What do you think you've seen that is good, bad, ugly? Let's do good, bad, ugly.
Okay.
So let's start with ugly and get to good.
Okay.
So what has been the ugliest stuff you have seen at weddings that from people that are Christian?
Yeah. This was a really unfortunate circumstance. I was a maid of honor at a wedding, and it was in a barn. It was beautiful. However, it was like 90-something degrees that day. I wasn't well hydrated. I wasn't feeling very great. I'm in a dark dress in the sun taking photos all day, right? And during the actual ceremony, I got heat stroke. And I was sitting and they were it was when the pastor was up giving a little message during the ceremony, and I feel sweat start to drip down my back and drip down my legs. And I was okay, I know I'm not locking my legs. I know I don't feel great, but I'm fine. And then I turn pale white. I start feeling really nauseous.
Yeah.
And again, Kyle was not a part of this wedding, but we were dating at the time. And from the far back where he was sitting, I noticed him looking at me being mouthing
concerned?
to me, are you okay? You don't look well. But then, he's, going in and out of prayer, during the ceremony. So I'm, when people are head down and praying, I'm, squatting to try and, fan myself and get air.
No.
And then, I'm standing up. I'm okay, I think I'm doing okay. And I start hearing ringing in my ears. And when I tell you my vision started to go black and circle, I, motioned to Kyle, and I was I don't feel good. And I sat down and,
During the wedding?
This was during the ceremony.
Oh
I
my
felt
God.
so bad, but I'm I'm going to pass out. So as soon as he bowed his head to pray, I sat down, and I just sat down because I was I'm going to pass out. I don't feel good. If I can make it through the ceremony, then I can hop back up there real quick, fluff the dress, because I'm the maid of honor.
Oh my God.
So this is awful that I'm feeling horrible. And so he notices me sit down. He grabs a bottle of water. He along the side brings it up to me. I'm drinking it. I'm trying to feel better. And sitting down helped. I didn't pass out or anything. But so the ceremony ended. They're about to do the announcements, saying you may now kiss the bride.
Yeah.
Whatever. So they had it planned where when they were about to kiss, they had the bridal party step out anyways. So that worked out really well for me. And then they came back in together to walk back down the aisle. So I just blended right in. No one could tell. But I made it back to a room, and one of our good friends is an EMT, and he came in and he was checking my pulse, doing all the things. And he's you have heat stroke. You need to go home. And I was oh, beautiful. And so I went home.
Oh my gosh. How did you get, okay, pause.
Yeah.
How did you get heat stroke?
Just from not being hydrated. The barn didn't have AC, and it was 90 degrees.
No.
And I was already out in the sun for 4 or 5 hours that morning, taking pictures, running around, setting up.
And in heels,
and
I feel like it's so difficult to
Oh, and a dress. I don't know, a dress and all of it. And so, yeah, he was just unlucky circumstance. You have heat stroke, and he was you have to go home. And so now we hit the point where it was reception, people are having fun. There's probably only an hour or so of the wedding left. And so I went up to her, and again, she was my best friend at the time, and I kind of let her know. I was I'm so sorry, I have heat stroke, I need to go home. And so I went home, and that kind of was the start of our friendship ending.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh. She was so upset, and she got very mad at me, and I apologized so many times, but I was I can't control that. Oh. But again, that's another one of those circumstances of have grace for people, even when it's you know it's your wedding and it's your big day. Because again, she knew me, she knew my heart, she knew I didn't do it on purpose. But I think that's where I've seen ugly come in, where it's you're so focused on your day, everything going perfect for you, that God forbid something else happens.
It is. It feels like it's an excuse to be the most selfish, self-centered person in your entire life.
Yeah. And even
it's so bizarre that we are okay with that.
Well, another example that I've seen and kind of along ugly too is that Kyle and I unfortunately had a crazy life event happen, and I was supposed to be in a bachelorette and going and hanging out and all this stuff, but we couldn't because again I was going in and out of the emergency room, physical therapy, all this stuff, and I was treated not great. That they were upset that I wasn't coming and making it to these events. And I was I'm so sorry. I have no money because what just happened. I'm in and out of physical therapy right now. And then I'm here.
Wait, what? So what happened? What was the event that you were in the hospital for?
Oh yeah. We got into a car accident and our car got totaled. Someone T-boned us. It wasn't our fault.
Oh my God. Okay.
Kyle and I and our dog. And so I had whiplash, concussion, all this stuff. And it was awful.
Okay, timeline-wise, how far out was that from, the bachelorette party?
I think it was a week. Maybe 2 weeks at most. Yeah. Yep.
Holy cow. I didn't realize how close it was to everything. Because I don't think we were close at the time.
No.
Like, I didn't know you
We kind of bonded
well.
in this time.
Yeah.
Because you also had life stuff going on.
Yeah. I did not know that it was only like a week out. That's
it was probably
insane.
like maybe 2 weeks at most.
From the wedding? Dang, dude. Oh my gosh.
Because I remember dates.
Right. You're right, because your car rental was like up, and I was like, you guys can use my
lent
car.
us your car.
So you borrowed our car for that. Wow. I didn't realize that was 2 weeks. That's so, I'm so sorry.
And so it was just unfortunate circumstance because I didn't want to have to sit there and be like, I can't make it to anything. I'm feeling awful. Like, I'm so sorry.
Right?
And whiplash, all of it.
Good Lord.
And I didn't, and again, it's like a bachelorette. You're supposed to be having fun, like having drinks, celebrating, like, you know.
You're not drinking with a concussion.
No. Oh my gosh, I barely drink now. Like, you know.
Oh man.
And so I just felt bad because I was like, I feel bad. I feel awful. I'm scared. I'm shaken up.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
And I remember at something I did make it to for the bachelorette, I got a call from our insurance saying that the people who hit us were trying to pin the accident on us. When, like, again, she didn't have a license. She was on her phone.
I thought you found out about that way later. That was like before the wedding too.
No, that was before. That was at the bachelorette. That was one of the events. And so, but that went on for another week or two.
Lord have mercy.
Of them calling us being like, hey, we've got police reports though. Like, you guys are fine. You have witnesses.
How stressed out you are.
Oh,
because
it was awful.
You were like, there was no cameras. I don't know what we're going to do.
It's like their word against ours, you know?
Oh, Lord. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that sucks. I'm so sorry.
And so that was not fun. That was probably a little more bad and a little ugly mixed in that situation. Because again, it just wasn't like, oh man, this sucks. I know you're dealing with stuff. Like, go home. Like, I will see you at the wedding.
Yeah.
It was very like, well, why aren't you coming?
Yeah. That's hard. I think it's so hard too because again, the culture, this is where it's like, it's really hard for me. I can't hold hard feelings against people that behave this way because it's so ingrained in culture.
It is.
Like, it's your day. It is the bride's day. Whatever the bride wants, she gets. And like, you have to bend over backwards. And I am all for inconveniencing yourself for your friends. 100%. Do the hard thing. Show up. Go the extra mile. But there's a difference between like, you have to for me, but I won't for you. Do you know what I mean?
And I think that was that line that it was towing on. Because again, like I'm saying, I still went.
Yeah.
Like maybe I missed one or two things because I was like at an appointment or doing whatever, but I still went.
That's crazy.
And then to still get it received with like, oh, bummer you couldn't make it to it all. Versus the like, I'm glad you even here at all. Yeah. But like you said, to like a little bit of devil's advocate here, you are told all of those things every day.
It's
and so like you have that
culture.
expectation on all of your friends and everybody to show up. But like you got to take a real good look in the mirror and in your heart to see how you respond if that doesn't go your way or if that doesn't happen.
Or if your friend is struggling and having like the worst time of their life and you're having the best time of your life, how do you grieve with them while also expecting them to have joy with you? What does that look like? Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And for the good that I've witnessed, we'll talk about that. My sister-in-law just got married not too long ago, a couple months ago, and it was so sweet. Like, I was her maid of honor, and just watching her plan and prep for that wedding. Again, she's already a pretty chill girl, but you could just tell that all they were excited for was to be married.
Yeah.
Like, there were, like, little details that I think I'm used to people stressing about that she was like, I don't care. I don't care.
I like love watching it too because they were like all over each other.
They were. They were so happy.
So cute. They were like,
it was so adorable.
Yeah.
And like even when it came to like she had a smaller wedding when it came to like bridesmaids and stuff. There was only 4 of us, and like I had everybody in chat, and I was cooking.
That's crazy. That's small. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I know. When that's kind of like normal to me. Like if that should be normal. Yeah. But I like would text all them and be like, hey girls, like this dress, this fabric, and every single one of them got it like 2 months before, and it was there, and it was probably like, we're good, see ya. And a great example is one of her best friends was 32 weeks pregnant, and she couldn't make it till the morning of the wedding, and she was like, okay.
We accommodated so well for that too.
Couldn't care less.
We were like, it's fine. She'll figure it out.
And when we even practiced rehearsals, we just told the dude, hey, you're going to be walking with her. She hasn't practiced this, so like
help her out.
And he was like, okay.
Yeah, and never once did she make a snide comment about like, well, she couldn't make it.
No.
Like she was very like, oh yeah, I'm just so excited she's making it.
Oh, and she loves her so much.
Yeah. It was so sweet. I loved watching that. I think she was just like the perfect bride. Like she really was.
She was just so excited to get married.
Yeah.
And again, like you can still act and behave the same way with a big wedding or a small wedding. Yeah. Because again, she was just simple, but I think she would have been like that even if she had a year to plan a wedding and if she had X, Y, and Z, you know?
Yeah, dude, okay. My good, bad, and ugly time.
Yeah, go for it.
My ugly... Oh, man. I feel like, again, I've been a part of 10 weddings. Yeah. There's a lot of good. There was a lot of good.
Of course.
A lot of really well-done weddings with, small mishaps here and there. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of a lot of people that are so chill. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is, but, the people in my life, for the most part, have been so chill when it comes to weddings. There was, one incident that I feel like was a communication error on my part to the bride, but it caused issues in our relationship for a small period of time. Yeah. We're super great now. But I remember the summer we got married, I had 3 weddings, including my own, that I was a part of. There was one late June, one mid-July, and then ours August. And one was in Washington, and then the other two, one was here, and then the other was in Washington again. So I was
you were going back and forth.
I was going back and forth, and it was for bridal parties and all the bachelorette stuff too. And so I remember the first one was in Washington, very, very chill. Yeah. It's very similar to our vibe. They rented out a whole house, everybody stayed. Yeah. It was they actually had the wedding ceremony on the porch.
That's
of
really cute.
The Airbnb they were staying at. It was beautiful. She was so chill. So chill. I remember I couldn't stay for the whole thing. And she was like, oh my gosh, no worries. I'm just so glad that you even made it. This is so cool. I'm so glad to see you. Very chill. So that was the good, I feel on that aspect. But right as I got home from that wedding, I went straight, literally, I dropped off my bags from the airport, went straight to a bachelorette party.
Jeez.
And that one was very, again, the whole big thing, planned meticulously. It was a gorgeous wedding. It was so much fun. But there was definitely communication errors because I thought that the bridal shower or bachelorette party, they rented a house for 2 nights because it was Friday, Saturday, and then the bridal shower was Sunday. Okay. So I figured they rented the house Friday night, Saturday night, and then we all went to the bridal shower Sunday, and that was the end of it. Yeah. They only rented it for Friday night. Okay. So I got back in town, and I was like, that's okay. I will just stay Saturday night because I need to go home and sleep. I'm so exhausted. We stayed up to midnight the night before, celebrating all that stuff. And so I was like, I need to go home and sleep. And so I went out with them, and they were drinking and all that stuff. And we went bar hopping, and it was fun. I was not, though, because I was so freaking tired. Yeah. And there was creepy guys. The whole night. There was
I'm kind of on the lookout
in the club staring at these girls, and I'm sitting there yeah. I'm not having a good time. I was pissed at this point. But, and one of them was getting really weird and, touchy and saying things. Yeah. And I was like I'm not going to punch somebody. Yeah. And so I think I called it at, 1 a.m. And they were staying out till, 3 a.m. And I was like, love you guys. I've been up for, 24 hours. I need to go home. So I went back to my place and I slept, got up the next morning. They did bachelorette stuff again. And there was some stuff, too, that, they did yoga. And at the time... I'm still this way. I don't like doing yoga. I get really weird about it as a Christian. And so I went still to support, but I paid this money and I was miserable the whole time. I was really upset and agitated spiritually. And I was like, it's okay. I'm just trying to do this for her. But she could tell and all this stuff. And then they went and did a bunch of other stuff that cost a bunch of money, and I just literally couldn't afford it. And so I was like, hey, I'm so sorry, but I have to bow out of this, and this. And again, this is on me because I didn't communicate all of this, but I was like, well, I'll see you at the Airbnb after though. And they were like, well, we're not going to the Airbnb after. And I was like,
what do you mean?
What do you mean? And they were like, we checked out this morning. And I was like,
you what?
What? And they were like, yeah, no, we only had it for the one night. And I was like, oh my God, no, I'm so sorry. I felt so miserable. Yeah. If I had known it was just that night, I would have rallied. Do you know what I mean? I would have figured it out.
You're I'll be fine.
But I felt so terrible. And so that caused issues because she was like, hey, I don't understand why you dipped on half of this. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. It was that. And part of it's lack of communication on them from planning wise, but also I didn't clarify and I wasn't checking the texts a ton because I was at this other wedding. Yeah. So it was just a mess. And I felt really bad about that. But that was definitely, I would say, the bad portion of it was that. I would say the ugly was I was a part of a wedding, and there was the rehearsal we went to. Me and Joey were a part of it. He was a groomsman. And there was, the rehearsal we went to, And we went to the rehearsal, and there was like some weird allocated amount of time in between. And we like were like, well, what are we gonna do? And so like me and like a couple of the other bridesmaids were friends, and the husbands were friends. And so we were like, well, let's just go get like a snack or something in between this and rehearsal dinner. And so we went. It was fun, and we just like hung out and chatted. And like I think that's when I got to know you pretty well.
Yeah.
And that was really fun. And then we get like all these texts and calls that are like, where the heck are you? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'll be there in 30 minutes when you said it starts. And they were like, no, it starts now. And I was like, what? And so we're like booking frickin' butt to get back to this like rehearsal dinner. And I'm like double checking all my texts. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, am I this stupid? And I'm looking back and I'm like, no, like they said this time. And so we get there, and like everyone is pissed at us. And I mean,
so
like,
unfortunate.
mogging us, being hella mean, being super rude. Like, we had people that were like, glad you showed up finally. Ooh. And I was like, whoa.
Like, I'm sorry, did I miss something?
And I think at this point, we were only like 10 minutes late. Like, it wasn't like we were like a full 30 minutes. Like, we booked butt to get back there. And so we were only like 10 minutes late, but they were so mad at us. And like, again, for the information that we had received, like, we were early. Yeah. And so I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, if I would never have done this on purpose.
Of course.
But I think that the kind of the narrative was that we did do it on purpose.
Yeah.
And like, that's kind of what the wedding party like ran with, was that we were like being malicious. And like, I don't even know for what reason though. I think that was what was confusing to me, was I was like, well, why would I do that?
Yeah,
like, I would never
I'm in the bridal party.
Yeah, I would never just show up late to be rude. Like, that's so, I don't even know what the intention would be that you could assign to me. Like, oh, I'm being like selfish, or like I'm self-centered. I mean, like this whole weekend I've proved that like, you know, I'm excited, I'm pumped. So that was really hard. Yeah. And I think that really hurt our relationship like extremely, because I was like so hurt by like the accusation of like we did all this on purpose and whatever. And again, everybody was so mean to us. Like, we had text messages afterwards too of them
that's awful.
Just being like, I can't believe that you would do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, wow, I'm so sorry.
I didn't.
Yeah. I was like so apologetic. Like, as soon as we got there, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I had no idea. And I like showed them too the text messages of like, this is the time you told me. And they were like, yeah, I see. But like, you should have clarified. And I was like,
that's a wild thing to hear.
Okay.
And again, another one of those instances of being told like, this day is completely about you, 100%. However, like, there's a fine line of when it's now clouding your ability to have grace for others.
Yeah, that was really hard. Because like, again, I think it was just an actual like misunderstanding, miscommunication. But like, it was framed as like us being malicious and stuff. And like, that was just like completely, I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, this is not it for me. And that was the same wedding too, that I feel like there was a lot of pressure on the wedding itself. Like, it had to be perfect. The wedding had to be perfect. There was a lot of people
coming from out of town.
Yeah, everything had to be perfect, and like all about her and all about like this. And I was pregnant.
You were?
I was pregnant, and our house had just flooded the second time.
I forgot it.
So we were dealing.
This is when we really started to bond, because right when this is happening for you was when we got in the car accident.
I was crashing out. Like, I was not doing well. I was not doing well. Yeah. I was miserable.
I remember.
Financially, we were having a really, really hard time because we're in and out of Airbnbs, not getting reimbursed right away. Yeah. That was so miserable. Like, it was so miserable.
I remember that because I had driven to your Airbnb to hem your dress for the wedding. And I just felt so bad because when I walked in, I could just see it like on your face and everything. And you were just kind of like, but it's okay. We have X, Y, and Z tomorrow. Like,
we're good. And we rallied. We rallied hard. But it weighed on us so heavy. Yeah. You could see the wear of the like stress and anxiety of like our own stuff on us. And we would show up, and like as soon as we showed up, like we were, you know, like you put that face on.
You have a good time.
But it was really hard not receiving the grace or like the understanding from the other party. Like it really hurt our relationship. I think after that I was like, I don't know how close I want to be with this.
Weren't really the same relationship-wise after that.
And I think that was also the time that we had heard, the groomsmen had heard that like,
I forgot about that.
The groomsmen had heard that the way they were organizing the bridesmaids and groomsmen, like in relation to the bride and groom, was on closeness.
Yeah, from where they stood.
To like a relationally closeness. And I remember that the bride had like made last minute changes, and I was like,
because you're like, it's probably from
No,
the
I don't
incident
even know.
of,
Like, there was people that were, like, put at the back of the line all of a sudden, and I was like, whoa.
You're like, and now that we know we're in order for how much you are close to us.
Yeah, this feels really weird. And again, I think if it was something where she had said from the get-go, like, yeah, like, I'm gonna, like, align you guys, like, based on how long I've known you or, like, my closeness to you, we would have been like, okay.
Cool.
But, like, the fact that it was kind of, like, secret, and then she was, like, making changes, I was like, oh,
like,
I
now
feel
we
so
know.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of hurt.
It is a little hurtful.
Yeah. I mean, I was in a great position, but...
I mean, I was at the front, so...
You got moved. No, I'm kidding.
I was in front of you. Do you think I don't remember.
It was really weird and bizarre. And, like, yeah, there was so many relationally wise, that whole thing that was, like, just really hard.
And I think, too, because, like, I know we're talking here as believers. Do you think we should have gone about that situation differently? Do you think there's something we could have done to communicate to the bride? Why the face?
I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this.
We don't have to.
You
can be really vague.
Yeah. I'm going to be vague on this one.
Yeah, you can be vague.
We did.
Yeah.
We told the groom to call off the wedding.
It's wild.
Sorry. I don't know if this is going to stay in or not.
I don't know if we should keep that in.
This is a little sus. But there was so many issues. And I, like, still to this day, I love this bride. I actually do. I have no hard feelings towards her at all. Our relationship looks different because of stuff, but, like, I love her. Yeah. She tries really hard, and I, like, love her so much. And I know the culture she was raised in and the influences that she has, like, impacts her.
Of course.
And, like, just with any of us, you know? And so I can notice someone's effort in comparison to, like, the situation they were raised in. And so I have a lot of grace and compassion for her. Like, I love her so much. I think she does really well for her outside influences.
Of course.
But that wedding was so painful for both of them.
It's very painful to witness.
Yeah. There was a lot of times that, like, she made decisions that were directly hurting her future spouse. And, like, me and Joey both, like, voiced concern of, like, this is a big deal. You know, like, and we care about you guys, and we want you guys to, like, start off on the right foot. And, like, this is not the right foot. You know, like, you guys should be having these conversations, and there should be compassion and understanding and growth and, like, working through this stuff. And, like, this is really hard, but, like, maybe even push it out and say, like, hey, like, no, like, we need to recenter, refocus. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why are we getting married? And then go from there on, like, a healthier foot. And so, like, I had frank conversations with her over the, like, you're getting a little obsessive over this, and it's hurting your future spouse.
Yeah.
I know that she tried really hard, though. So I think that's where I'm at, is, like, I think, yes, we could have done something more, but I also was towing the line of, like, she is trying. I'm hearing her. I know what she's doing behind closed doors. I know she's trying to put in the work.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to make it worse.
Yeah.
Like, I still do want this to be fun and a celebration. And, like, it was like a beautiful wedding, and it was so much fun. And, like, we had a blast.
Yeah, we did.
And I know that at the end of the day, they were good.
Yeah.
And so there's, like, that towing the line of, like, you know, like, I'm worried about this, but also, if you can make it through, we're good.
Like, I think you'll be fine, or we'll be fine.
I don't know if there was anything more we could have done, because, again, I don't want to put that pressure on her when she's already dealing with so much. I think there was a lot of stress on her end over this wedding. I think there was a lot of pressure from family as well on this wedding. There's a lot of choices that she did not get to make.
Yeah.
And that was really hard. So
I felt bad watching that, too, especially being in the position of, like, already have been married and been like, oh, I know what it's like to want to do something that you didn't necessarily get to do.
Yeah.
You know?
The family decisions is really hard. I think that was really hard to watch, too, because I was like, I think if they had it their way and didn't care about their family, I think it would have been so different. And that makes me really sad. But either way, I mean, like, the wedding was beautiful.
It was. They had a blast.
They're great. Like, everything's great. And so it's just, again, watching that happen slow-mo was really hard.
It was.
And I think using that as a template or example for, like, if you are getting engaged soon or you're planning a wedding, what to be aware of.
Yeah.
You know, if, like, this wedding is costing you your patience, your grace, towards other people, your compassion, your love towards others, it's not worth that.
I second that.
Scrap it. Like, scrap the photo booth. I'm sorry.
Seriously.
But if it's causing financial stress and pain, scrap it.
Like, I'm not saying any of these things to be like, well, we did it this way.
No.
But like, we did all our own flowers. Yeah. And it was so fun because I had all like the bridesmaids come over the night before. We made all the bouquets. Like, I made everything myself. It was so fun. But again, there are like other things that like, just again, talk with your spouse, figure out what you actually want to spend money on. And anything that came up between us that we were like, I feel super stressed. This is so expensive. This actually, I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't need it. Hence a florist or whatever. I was like, I can do it myself.
I think too, there is nothing wrong with big weddings.
No, not at all.
Not at all. I think that
if you can afford them too, beautiful.
I think if you can do the really big, the fancy, the nice wedding in a way that's still good and honoring to Christ.
I would agree. A great example I had of that was actually one of my high school best friends who's back in Oregon. I was in her wedding, and again, she wasn't doing any bridesmaids or anything, but she had 3 girls come with her to everything, and kind of the night before, like, we did all that stuff. The only difference is we weren't just up on stage with her, and she was so beautiful and like fortunate. Like her parents took care of the wedding. And they were so happy to. They paid for a huge chunk of it. But because of that, and they had like family connections in the area, they had almost like 300 people.
That's crazy.
It was at a golf course.
Yeah.
But every little touch, every little detail was so her that it made me so happy. It didn't get swept under like a rug of like, big wedding, you don't get to choose anything you want.
Trendy.
Trendy.
Yeah.
All of it. And like, I remember too, we both got married pretty young. And this is a really sweet mindset. And I think I wish I kind of would have known this too, getting married young, is that don't try and age yourself. Like, that's the beauty of looking back at like our wedding photos of like, we did get married young. Like, look at how far we've come and like who we are now. Because again, she was going dress shopping and I couldn't make it because again, I'm not in Oregon, but her friend who was with her FaceTimed me, sent me videos, sent me texts, and made me feel so included. And it was just really sweet because she was like, I know you can't be here for X, Y, and Z, but don't, like, she still communicated with me of like, don't get it wrong that I don't not love you. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry you can't be here. I understand financially,
Yeah.
But anyways, like, that's just some encouragement if you're getting married young too. Yeah. And she was like, when she was dress shopping, she was like, I don't want something that's like old and trendy. She's like, because I want to look back on my wedding photos and be like, man, we were so little and like we did it,
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. I think that, again, it so matters on like pressure. And I think there's so much pressure in the outside world to like make it look perfect and follow all these trends. And like, even like Christian influencers that get married, you're like,
huge nowadays.
Like Como in Italy. And we did the whole thing, you know what I mean?
No,
and
it's serious.
like, I get the pressure to do that, but like, bro, don't get broke. Don't start your marriage in debt.
Yeah.
Like, that's so hard on a relationship, especially when like the majority of divorces is caused by financial strain.
Burdens, yeah.
And so like, you just need to start out on the right foot. And don't let that be a reason that you wait 24 months to get married.
Yeah.
Like, if you're engaged, like, don't feel like you need to wait for forever. Like, if you know you want to marry the person, desire the marriage over the wedding.
I agree with that.
And like, I feel like 10 out of 10 times when I see people that get engaged and married super quickly, their marriage is so good, so strong. Like, they're so built on a foundation of like, no, we don't care about
we're here for the person. Yeah.
We care about our relationship. And it was healthier and better for our relationship to get married as soon as possible once we knew we were it for each other.
That's such a good point. Yeah, I think that's a great point. Because again, I think I've met some people who've waited a very long time for some good reasons to get married. But then it's like by the time the actual wedding comes, that's all it's about. Yeah. And then you meet people who sometimes get married a little quicker. And it's like, oh yeah, I just like found my person. I'm just ready to get married.
That's the contrast I had. Yeah. It was like my first marriage, my first relationship that like, was extensive. We were dating for 4 years before he proposed, and then we were engaged for another 12 months.
Jeez, another 4
And that marriage lasted 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah.
We were married. And it was riddled with issues the entire time because, again, I felt so invalidated of my worth. I felt like he didn't actually love me and he didn't actually want to marry me. Turns out he didn't.
Spoiler.
But, like, and that one, too, I did rush on, like, well, I want to get married under God because I don't like living this way.
Yeah.
And so we did. We had a ceremony under God before our actual wedding. It was, like, a full 6 months before or something like that. I don't even remember when it was because as we were getting a divorce, he flat out told me, I didn't care about that wedding. I don't actually believe in God. When we got married under God, that was just to shut you up because you were annoying as hell.
That's crazy.
Do you know what I mean?
That's wild to hear.
I was so invalidated the entire relationship because, like, again, he waited so long to propose to me. Like, do you actually want to marry me? And then we waited so long to get married. And then when we did the, like, wedding under God, it was like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
And so I think that, and then I did the polar opposite, right? I dated Joey for 9 months and engaged for 3.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was
married within the year.
Yeah, and like our relationship dynamic was so much more focused on like the marriage because he loved me. He was so eager to show me, like, I can't wait to marry you. Like, I'm so excited to marry you. Versus the opposite, which is like, well, if you mention it one more time, like, you're going to get it pushed out 6 months.
That's wild.
So, I don't know. The foundation for a marriage when you're going into it has to be on, like, either love or Christ, but ideally both.
Yeah.
Like, it should ideally be both. Like, I think if we're talking to a Christian audience, it needs to be both.
Yeah.
You cannot be sitting here marrying somebody who is not a Christian.
I agree.
That's biblical.
I agree.
Do not be unequally yoked.
I totally agree with that.
That is a command. And so I totally understand the savior complex. I had it.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, but like this guy is so wonderful. And like, I just, you know, I bet I can help him. If I love him enough, he'll grow.
Yeah.
No. Like, you cannot change a man.
Yeah.
If Christ can't change a man, you cannot change a man.
Yeah, what makes you think you can?
Yeah. He's been introduced to Christ. He knows what it's about, and he's not taken the steps to make any change in his life. Who is to say that you will?
Exactly. It's a really good point.
And if he's not respecting you before marriage or respecting you, like loving you before marriage, he is not going to change after marriage.
Yeah. Dude, dating's like a big trial run. I mean,
100%.
you get to learn and see how people behave and how they act.
Yeah.
And like, that's what drives you to be sure and to be like, I do want to marry this man.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, once we get married, everything is going to be fixed. Everything's going to go away. Every struggle, every sin, every whatever. No. Oh no, marriage amplifies things.
It does. You're with somebody 24/7. You hear how they chew crackers.
Yeah, and you need to make sure you're okay with that.
Yeah.
How they sneeze, how they yawn.
They
like,
snore.
Are they messy? Like, does that bug you?
They fall asleep within 5 minutes and you take 2 hours to fall asleep. Is that annoying to you? Yes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, everything that could annoy you does.
Yeah.
And you like find it out. And it's hard. It's like a giant mirror and a microscope.
It is, because now you have someone closest to you who can now point out all your flaws. So make sure that person is a biblical person, so when they bring it up to you, you're not offended because you know it's coming from a place of love.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's so hard. It really is. Like, I think there's only been a few times that Joey has like actually like corrected me. Because most of the time I'm pretty self-correcting. Like, I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have done that. There's only been a couple times where Joey's pulled me aside and been like, hey, that you can't say that kind of stuff about yourself anymore. Like, that's normally what it is like, I will just get into like super self-hatred. Yeah. And he'll like pull me aside and be like, no, I'm dead serious. Like, that's so not okay for you to say. And this isn't a cute thing, me saying like, no, I love you so much. This is me saying like, that's destructive.
He's like, knock it off.
That's destructive words that you're speaking over yourself. And like, that's not okay. Yeah. And I'm like, oh,
like, makes you realize.
Yeah, like, I'm like, it's not cute and funny that I'm like self-hating. Like,
you're like, oh no, this
is
like real.
Actually, it's not okay. Yeah. And so it's hard. It's really hard. But like, again, like you said, like picking the right person is so important.
It is, because you want to trust their opinion. Again, like we've had similar instances of like, I've had to do it to Kyle, Kyle's had to do it to me. Of course it's never fun. And we sit there and we're like, this sucks. But I'm so glad you are telling me, because this is making me grow in my faith and grow in our marriage.
Yeah, Joey said something a couple weeks ago. It was really cute because he like, oh my gosh, yesterday he watched Up with Taylor when they first woke up. And I like woke up late and I came out or whatever. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna go shower. And he like came up to me and he was like, I cried watching the opening of Up again today. And I was like, oh, why? And he was like, I was just thinking about us and I'm just so grateful you're my wife. And like, he was like, I just love you so much and you're so healthy for me. And like, you helped me grow in such an important way that I need to. And I was like,
so sweet.
I'm like sitting here feeling like I don't matter, you know? I'm like,
and then he tells you
he helps me grow. I don't know how I help him grow, but he's like, no, like you help me have a voice and a backbone and like be biblically sound. And that's something I just like never cared about because I was so shy before and like not wanting to offend, but like it's so important to be like firm in your faith. And I was like, oh,
what a gift. How beautiful.
Yeah. So it was great. But
isn't that a beautiful picture of Christ in the church, man?
Seriously. I was thinking about this too though, but like this is, I was curious about your perspective with this. But while we were engaged, I remember, or before we got engaged, but I was telling my dad about the fact that, like, we were going to get engaged and we were going to get married at this time, and we had kind of, like, figured out our timeline. I remember my dad was, like, talking to me about it, and, like, again, I was raised in a very different culture. Very, like, lukewarm Christian, not very biblically sound, but, like, loved Jesus.
Yeah.
And I remember I told him the timeline, and he was like, Katie, he's like, I just am so worried about you. And I was like, what? Why? And he was like, I know you're so excited, and he's so great. Like, we love him, but, like, I'm worried that you're pushing off, or you're getting married too quickly because you guys aren't having sex.
You're like, I'm sorry, what?
My dad told me that. My dad was like, I think you guys should just have sex. What?
That's wild to hear. You know, not in the same vein at all. So again, at the time, Kyle and I don't really have a relationship with my dad. I know I've talked about this before, but he I wanted to inform him that I was getting engaged. I had a boyfriend, all this stuff, whatever. And he had told my mom, I don't think it's a great idea because she needs to be going to college. She needs to be partying and she needs to be dating around.
It's not your dad advocating for you to be a whore.
Told my mom. I'm like, do you? Again, he doesn't know me, but in my head, I was like, another reason that you don't know me. My goodness.
Holy
But I can't believe
No, yeah. I, like, remember, like, actually being, like, fully set. Like, I was like...
You're like, I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that?
My father is telling me to go have sex. Ew. What?
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sorry, but that's, like... No, like, you
wild.
just don't know, like, me.
You know, it's so strange, though, because I have encountered a couple who I think their sole purpose of getting married was because they were, like, just burning with desire, and they kept bringing up, I don't remember the Bible verse, but it's, like, better to be married than to burn with passion.
Let's pull it up.
But they, like, would reference that verse all of the time, and unfortunately, we were like, we get it. You guys just really want to be intimate.
Oh, man, burning with passion. Here we go.
Who said it? Was it Paul?
It's Paul. 1 Corinthians 7:9. But if they cannot exercise self-control, they should marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion.
And they took that verse,
horn dogs,
and they ran with it.
That's so funny, man. I don't know. There's a level of, like, yes, and make sure you've got a solid foundation. Ask the questions, ask the hard questions, make sure that you guys are actually compatible, because, like,
oh, yeah.
What if you can't?
Like, I know something else that might be a good tip for people is our premarital counselor. He would always talk about relationships in a triangle of, like, you need attraction, you need workability, and you need compatibility. And, like, how you see each other, like, each scenario and instance and all of that. And, like, are you actually attracted to this person? Or, like, do you guys just work well together? Like, 'cause you want to be attracted to your spouse and X, Y, and Z, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. I was also thinking about how yesterday you had said that you married somebody the complete opposite of your dad.
Yeah.
And I was, like, reflecting on it a little bit more, and I was like, I'm, like, wondering. And, like, I think my ex, I think he was very polar opposite of my dad. He was not emotionally available. He was not overly apologetic. He was not good at communication. And he was, like, very opposite in that aspect, and opposite in, like, hobbies and stuff like that, too. And I think I was choosing the opposite because I was, like, I don't know. I don't even know why I chose the opposite. I think it was mostly just the savior complex of, like, oh, if I love this guy enough, he'll, like, be a better person.
Yeah.
But I think with Joey, I was, like, thinking about it more, and Joey is, like, so similar to my dad in, like, all the best ways possible.
Yeah.
Like, not hobbies. Like, Joey obviously has a way different, like, hobby set than, like, I was raised with. But in all of the right ways, like, emotionally, like, my dad growing up, my dad would write me, like, if we got into a fight or something, he would write me, like, letters.
It's so sweet.
Of, like, hey, I love you so much. I'm so sorry this happened.
That's so
like, just know that you're my
nice.
little girl. And, like, I value you and your opinions so much. And he would, like, slip them under my door.
That's so cute.
I know. And so I'd have, like, pages of, like, my dad just, like, emotionally being available for me. And Joey's the exact same way.
Yeah.
Joey's the exact same way. Like, when we get into something, he immediately is, like, this sad little, like, puppy that, like, comes over and he's like, I just miss you and I don't like fighting. Can we make up? And I'm like, yeah.
You're like, okay.
So it's, like, it's just so sweet because I think he's so tender. And my dad cries a lot. And I love that about my dad. Like, he's so emotional. And Joey's the exact same way. Like, Joey sobs over everything, man. Like, it's the best. I'm so thankful for that. And so I think I picked somebody that's very similar to my dad.
In such a good way.
In like the best way possible, because like I think being raised with that, I resonate so well with like that kind of love. Yeah. And so I'm so thankful that like Joey's like that.
That's so sweet. But, that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Oh man.
Do we have anything else?
Yeah. I don't think so. Mm-hmm. I think that.
What are our final recap,
thoughts on marriage?
Final thoughts, words of wisdom. What can we give?
Do you have anything? You want to go first?
I just feel like the biggest one I've honed in on when it comes to marriage of like, check your reasons why you want to get married. Mm-hmm. Check your heart, Yeah. Remember and think how you can still be a servant when getting married and planning a wedding. Yeah. Of like, I know you're prepping for people and people are telling you, all about you, 100%. Yeah. But also like, keep who you are in your heart. Don't lose that.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. I think very similarly, I think that like you need to be you, be unique, be yourself. Like
it's your wedding in that sense of like, make it your guys'.
And it's your marriage. I think I've gotten a lot of questions about that because in our family, I am the breadwinner. I'm the sole income of our household. Joey stays home and raises the kids and does music stuff and is in full-time ministry when he can, doing worship stuff. And so he doesn't get paid. And that's been such a weird thing that I feel like people have been like, can I ask how that works?
You're like, how does that?
And like, it works for us very well. Like, I feel like it's never been an issue. Like, I love working. I feel so much joy and passion and purpose in like work. And I do it to the Lord. Like, I'm like, heck yeah. Like, I love making people's lives better and like showing Jesus through how I can help.
You're such a servant in your work.
I am. I love doing that stuff. Like, it just gives me life. And Joey's not. Like, Joey's like, I do not like to work. He's like, the whole time I'm grumbling and complaining. And he's like, I'll get through it. But like, it's just not my jam. And so it works really well for our marriage. And I've had people that have come up to us being like, I don't like that. You need to fix it. And I remember being like, it's not your marriage. Yeah. If it works for us and we have no issues with it, then like, it's okay. And it's biblical. It's not unbiblical. Yeah. Like, he's still providing for our family in a way that it needs to be provided for. Yeah. Like, if I ever lost my job, we've already talked about it. He is going to get a job. Yeah. Like, he is going to go fill the gap and figure it out until I can figure out something else. Like, he provides in whatever way our family needs provision for. And so it's always worked for us really, really well. And I remember telling people like, I'm so sorry, but it's not your marriage. And if it works for mine, it cannot be an issue for you.
Yeah, take that. Take that as another great note. If it works for your marriage, don't let other people make it an issue for you.
No, like, if it's not an issue between us, like, I'm so sorry, but because it's an issue for you, like, I can't have you around. Yeah. Like, that's a big thing, too.
You're going to have to work on that.
Yeah, like, you got to figure that out because it's not my problem. Why does that bug you? Yeah. So, I think that's the biggest thing I've, like, run into. Yeah. Comparison's a thief of joy, man.
Oh, it is. I love that saying.
Yeah. I think that looking at other people's marriages and, like, seeing them function the way that they do, if you start getting into the mindset of, like, well, why can't I? Like, it's just going to take away all the good things about your life.
You got to figure out what works in your relationship and how the Lord will use you too.
Yep. Those are my final thoughts.
I love it.
Wrapping up.
Okay.
That is it for season 1 of Holy Hack.
Oh my goodness.
So appreciate you guys so much. Yes, like, this has been so much fun. Best time ever. I love doing this. I love the community that's created too.
Literally today, we went to a coffee shop and the guy was like, what do you do? What are you guys doing? What are you up to? Yeah. And Katie was like, oh, actually recording a podcast. And she found it on Spotify and Instagram and followed us and was like, I'm so excited to listen.
Yeah,
like, it's so neat.
I've been enjoying it so much, and I think it's been so growing and helpful for us. And like, I've loved it.
In certain ways, it's helped me find a little bit more of a voice that I'm really happy I feel like I have now. Me too. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, oh my goodness. Stay tuned for season 2 updates. We will keep you guys posted.
Yes, we will.
And enjoy your summer break.
Exactly.
Bye, guys.
Okay. See you later.